Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. It is Friday, and we are coming off 5-1, baby, on Thursday. We're going to be looking at a bunch of picks I have here. Also had a video that came out on Thursday night last night with projections, looking at all 6 of the games that we have here on Friday. I put out 3 best bets in that one with some sides that I had 1 total in there as well. And now I've got 4 best bet player prop picks here for you. Let me go ahead and bring up what I'm looking at here in this first pick before I get into it. It is from this Atlanta-Philly game. Took Atlanta last night -4. These numbers are probably a bit old in terms of the spread and the total. But most importantly for what I want to show you here is the Atlanta offense. More importantly, the Philly defense. Philly defense in the last 5, which they've had Joel for one of those games. Really, really bad around the rim. Really bad in general. 2nd worst defensive rating in the league. And everywhere on the floor, especially the paint and threes and transition is where they are super vulnerable. So first bet here from that game is going to be Jalen Johnson. Over 15.5 points. Going to put a full unit on that, and the double for Jalen as well is +130 on FanDuel. Put a half a unit on that one. For Jalen, we're looking at, like I said, transition points. We're looking at paint points. And we're looking at the fact that Clint Capella is not around, and that's going to be impactful for a couple of these bets today because Clint Capella eats up a ton of those stats on defense, the defensive and offensive boards, just really owning the paint more so than any other Hawks player. Not much room for too many other guys to operate when he's in there. Jalen Johnson's still a very good player and rebounder when Capella's in the game, but when he's out, we can really start to bank on him getting a ton of rebounds, even without without as many rebound chances as Okongwu, who comes in at the center position. Power forward Jalen Johnson actually ends up cleaning up a lot of those rebounds, getting like about 16 rebound chances and like 10 or 11 rebounds off of those chances, which is a really high percentage. Philly is in the bottom 4 in terms of defensive paint and the defending the rim as well. So once you get into the paint, you can score on them. Once you get all the way to the rim, you can certainly score on them. And that's what he's going to be doing here. Like it says here, there's without Capella, he's got 12.6 rebounds on 17 rebound chances in 3 games this season. And then you go back to the transition stuff here for Philly. Bottom 5 defense in transition, most points in transition for the Hawks, and 2nd most points at the rim for the Hawks is going to be Jalen Johnson, right? Okongwu's a good bet as well. I think he's good to go here. But the last point I would make before we move on from Jalen Johnson is the double-double is a better way to play his rebounds because his rebounds are at 9.5 anyway. I strongly expect him to get 10 points in this one, as you can see by the points prop that I'm taking it over on. And so rather than take 9.5 boards for him, because he gets a lot of boards against a team that does not rebound right now, they're giving up like the 4th most offensive rebounds as well are the Philadelphia 76ers. Jalen Johnson is going to be the number 2 probably offensive rebounder versus this team when Okongwu's in there as well. But when Okongwu's not in there, he's going to be the best offensive rebounder, and that's going to be where they're most vulnerable. So he's going to get a lot of points in transition, getting a lot of points at the rim, and so is this man. So I got to make him my second bet as well. We're putting 2.5 units on both of the starting front court guys for this Hawks team against Philly. I don't care about Mo Bamba or B-ball Paul Reed or any of the dudes, even Tobias Harris. They're going to be trying to defend down low. No one's going to be a match for Okongwu getting boards, and I think points too, because what's interesting is without Capella in, Okongwu actually has gone over in his points prop all 4 times, over this 13.5 points prop that if you want to just take that as well. Like I says here, all 4 with Capella out, he's gone over this number for the points. The rebounds, it's interesting. He's averaged 18 rebound chances in 4 games without Capella, yet he's over the last 3, he's only averaging 7.5 because Jalen Johnson's coming in and swooping him. Mostly because Okongwu is such a monster on the boards that he's a problem to box out, and there's really nobody on the 76ers that can box him out one-on-one, which has been the case for a number of teams. They just really put 2 guys on him to make sure he doesn't get boards. Jalen Johnson swoops in and gets those rebounds. But I still think the points and rebounds will be there for him. I think defense is going to be very sparse in this game. You won't be seeing a lot of it. Let's put it that way. It's going to be all offense as these 2 teams are matching up with really, really solid offense for Atlanta, awful offense for Philly, and awful defense for both of them. So with the 11 field goal attempts in 34.5 minutes that he's getting without Clint Capella in there, not very much, still pretty low usage, but 12 field goal attempts to get 13.5 points for a dude who's going to be shooting all of his shots around the rim at hopefully about a 70% clip. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. Like, he's not doing anything but dunks off of that Trey lob and the like, right? And then just getting offensive rebounds and putting them back up when he needs to. So the points have been there. They're not running through things through him, but he's getting enough shot attempts that I like this bet a lot. And then another bet I really like a lot, might be chalky, because of the fact that it's like, oh, well, who's the point guard that's out for the Rockets? Fred VanVleet's not playing, so we'll go with Amen Thompson, I guess. Absolutely. Amen Thompson is a hooper. He's an athlete. He's like, if he was a football recruit, he would be athlete. He wouldn't necessarily be like receiver or running back or quarterback. He would be like, whatever you want me to do, I can do all of it. And to a degree, except for shoot, by the way. That's why I'm leaving the points out here, and I'm going over 13.5 rebounds and assists for Amen, who has a while to go before he's going to really be scaring any defenses with his shot and making them respect it. So for the rebounds and assists, I mean, this is a dude that's like, you know about Oscar Thompson if you were following props at the beginning of the season when he was getting a ton of minutes for the Pistons, who are way different looking now and actually seem like they trimmed all the fat and might have their a future now. But more importantly for Amen, like he and his twin brother Oscar are basically both pogo sticks. Oscar might have a little bit of the athleticism on him, but Amen, I mean, look, man, he's been flying out of the gym as well. Toronto is allowing the second most assists to point guards over their last 7. They're allowing the 6th most rebounds to point guards over their last 7. And look, this game, I think it could go over. I think it's going to be in the 230s, to be honest with you. At this point, the way that these two teams are playing such bad defense, there should be rebounds available, but the pace should also be pretty decently high. There were some weird splits for the Raptors where when they get back home, they don't play as fast, but they also missed Quickly and RJ Barrett in a couple of those games, who picked the tempo up majorly for the Toronto Raptors, which will just pick things up for the Rockets, who have been playing way faster than they normally do, about a 101.5 pace over their last 5, which is crazy for this team, how fast they've been playing. But without Fred in here, the 2 games that we've seen Amen play without him, 13.5 rebounds and 5.5 assists per game. 13.5 rebounds per game, because he's gone 15 and 14 or whatever, 16, 13. He's got a ton of rebounds in those 2 games without him, averaging 33 minutes per game. And look at those rebound chances. He's getting into position because even though he's the point guard, he's really not going to stay out on the wing too often, too long, right? Or at the top of the key. There's a lot more rotation. He's not the Fred VanVleet own the top of the key kind of player. He's going to be getting into the lane a ton, passing and slashing just as much as he's playing point guard. But the assists are there for him. Outside of Şengün, he seems to be the guy they trust more than anyone. Dillon Brooks gobbled up some of the assists from him last game, and he still got 5. So I think he's in a good spot here. I actually thought about fading Şengün rebounds and assists because I think Pirtle's going to do a really good job on him tonight. So I do think there's going to be even more available for Amen as those two are battling each other, and he's going to maybe be the second best rebounder because Jabari Smith goes into the paint less than this point guard Amen Thompson does. So I'm really loving the Rook to get his rebounds and assists tonight. Next one is De'Aaron Fox, and this is the last best bet I have here. I'll go through the summary with you. Quick reminder, as we're still here, like and subscribe to the page if you would. Like the video, jump in the comments. You guys know I'm coming back and talking to you each and every time you have something to say or ask me in there. But finishing it up, I got half a unit on De'Aaron Fox. This is a buy the dip because my man has not been connecting on his shots. It's been ugly out there as he's been laying bricks, man, just building houses with that 40% field goal percentage that he has, like 44% over the last 7 games for him. Even back to the last 10 games, that shot has been broken. And it's not even as bad from 3. It's the mid-range that's been really bad for De'Aaron Fox. That's the thing that he sort of incorporated into his game last year that wasn't there for him the year before, right? Last year, he shot it was like 12% of his shots from mid-range, which was way higher than the percentage of his shots that he shot in the year before because he didn't have a shot really. And his three-pointer has gotten much better. It hasn't failed him this year. It's been the mid-range right now that he has been missing. And that's a shot that comes and goes if you're, doing a lot of other stuff, which De'Aaron Fox is as the point guard of this team as well. So I'm going to take the points in a matchup that as of late has been good for point guards. They're taking on Denver in the second leg of a back-to-back for Denver, who actually had to use a lot more energy than they probably would have liked in the fourth quarter against the Lakers last night to make sure they won that game. And now we get them coming in with D Fox, who scores a ton at home. 27 points per game at home this season. He's got 21 field goal attempts wherever he's playing, but 21 field goal attempts to get 24.5 points for this dude is what I'm feeling good about. Like I said, the recent poor shooting would only mean that we get better value on his prop here tonight because he's only done this like twice in his last 8 games, but he's gone over in his last 3 versus Denver at home. They played 4 games versus Denver since last season, 3 of them at home, at least 26 points in all of those games. So like I said, Denver's allowing the 6th most points per game, 2 point guards over their last 7. A couple of good guards in there, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, maybe you've heard of him. He got 34 on him, but a couple other guys as well that have been getting theirs, against this Denver Nuggets team, including Miles McBride not that long ago. Not obviously getting 25, but a few guys have, including Shy and company. So I think that D-Fox is a good bet to get to the rim a bit here. Hopefully that above the break 3 is working for him, because that has not been working for him. Denver's got really good 3-point defense. They've been really good on defense in general lately, about 8th best. And so there's not much to show you that like, oh, they're weak here, weak there, so D-Fox is going to score. It's just, this is a game in Sacramento where these two teams tend to go over and play faster, way more than when they play in Denver. So we're going to take D-Fox to lead the charge for the Kings to get their offense here and their points specifically on this one. All right, best bet summary here. We got 6.5 units lane to go ahead and win 6.1 if we get a little sweep here. How sick would 7-0 be? Even 8-0, got a ton of bets in here. Jalen Johnson, you see those 2 bets for him, over 15.5 points and the DD there on the double-double. Amin Thompson, over 13.5 rebounds and assists. D-Fox, over 24.5 points. Onyeka Okongwu, over 21.5 points and rebounds. And then the 3 plays here, actually 4, sorry, I should be very clear. We've got Houston at Toronto, got 2 bets on them. Toronto +5, and I did take the under. Spoke to a few people that are more intelligent than me when it comes to sides. Not that hard to do if you saw the amount of money I've lost on them, about 8 units this season, although we went 2-0 last night on them. So I'm feeling like I'm turning around, but the over seemed to be a better play according to people, like I said, that are better at this than I am in terms of the sides specifically, not necessarily the props, but Pellies and Lakers. The Pellies were +1 last night. I'm going to double check that while I'm saying this to you, so I don't make sure that they're not like still +1, because I bet we got some pretty decent value there, and they are -3, obviously. Yeah. So -3 for the Pelicans now. I'm happy with my +1. I don't really feel the need to buy back into that market, but -3 ain't even that bad for them with these Lakers on the back-to-back. 1-7 for the Lake Show this season against the spread when they are on a back-to-back. So Atlanta at Philly. Also, I don't know how you could have any confidence betting on Philly. I'm going to share what I think with you real quick, which is that Maxey went for 50 the other night against Utah without Joel Embiid. Everybody saw that, and at the end of a night where there was no more basketball on besides that game, it actually was a fun and exciting game. A lot of people were watching it. Maxey goes the hell off and wins that game. He had like 30 in the first half. So now we all think, okay, Maxey's going to be able to pull this team up without Joel. And it's like, no, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think he's as good without Joel. I know he's not as good without Joel Embiid. And as a result, -4, just even with the Hawks, as bad as they were covering the spread, been a bit better over the last 10. And I'm going to trust them to win that one by 4 with a full unit. So quick look at how we went 5-1, baby. +2.9. The Playa Props were 3-1 for +1.1 units. The sides and totals, which was just sides, 2 sides that we hit there with the Mavs beating the Knicks and covering, as well as the other one that we had with the, I already forgot who the other game was, but it's right there in front of me. Golden State covered and smacked the Pacers. Wow, so much basketball on right now. But Jalen Duren over 13.5 points. Dude got 24 and like a million and a half rebounds. Jared Allen went cleanly under 30.5. A lot of you tried to play that. Hopefully you got it under 26.5. Hopefully you never took it at 25.5. I literally told you in the video, I am capping him at 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So I love 30.5 under. And right, so most of you got the under 26.5. So good stuff. Giannis under 52.5. Should have just gone with the full unit. That was a game that they got waxed 129-105. That the Bucks lost that game at home to the Timberwolves. Not a good loss. Jonathan Kuminga, I don't know why I kept going back to the well. It was because we felt so comfortable betting him for like 6 games in a row that he hit. We were like, I just keep going back. Please don't be dead yet. And it's like, it's not dead yet. It's just, you can't just bank on automatically that he's going to just be in there shooting 20 times a game. Steph, the last 2 times that Kuminga's gone under, Steph was shot the ball like 100 times, right? Like 38 times against the Hawks, and then he had 46 or whatever last night, shooting the ball like 40 times. So yeah, dude is really just taking over the offense for them. But on the year, man, feeling really good. You can see that 15.6 is over the last 11 days that we've really picked up things. We had a little bit of a rut, got down to about only 5 units up on the season, and then we really slammed it home here in the last couple of weeks. Feeling really good about that. The player props are up to 35.7 units up, and the quest to get back to even money on sides and totals continues. We won 1.8 units back on a 2-0 night there with the sides and totals, so we'll keep it going. And that is officially all the time that I have for you guys in this one. Oaks coming out with college hoops tonight with a really fun slate on Saturday. Oaks will also be on the Kyle Kerm show talking hoops here and right now, actually. So hopefully you guys check that out if you get to it in time. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that page. Like I said, if you would like this video, jump in those comments, hit me up. Talk soon. And until then, happy betting.